Hello, YouTube. I think we're about ready to go, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm as ready as I'll ever be. So let's do it.
Okay, I'll start
Actually,
recording then.
yeah. Go on
Let's see how all this works. Let's see if this sounds better. If it's worse, I'm gonna just like kick myself.
then.
Let me see if I can mute myself.
Yeah, you were muted then. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You said yeah. I thought you understood me. That was
Yeah, I can't hear anything you're saying.
yeah, that works. Okay. Ready when you are.
Yeah, I'm ready. Fire
Okay.
away.
Here we go then.
Linux Outlaws is proudly sponsored by Bytemark UK. Check out their Big V platform for all your web hosting needs. Find out more at bytemark.co.uk. Six Gun Productions. New media, new rules.
Whoa! Wrong slider there.
I was
Hey
just gonna say.
everybody! Welcome to Linux Outlaws, episode 346. I'm Fab from Fabian Scherschel, full name, from Hanover, Germany, where I'm changing a running system. Yes. Hello.
Hey, I'm Dan, coming to you from Liverpool.
Listen to this. I can change.
Oh, that's terrible. Stop it. Oh no,
Speed.
it's like torture. Oh, oh,
Yeah.
good lord.
I've changed the running system, which is what we do here to keep it interesting. You know, we gotta stay fresh after 340 episodes,
Yeah.
more or less.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you've hooked up Mix, haven't you? Which is the DJing software for Linux.
Yeah.
And you can now like scratch and stuff and mess around with.
Well, I really don't want to scratch, and I didn't really want to use that slider. Just yeah, I'm still getting used to the sliders. I'm still working on it.
You were playing around with the scratching thing before, and I said to you, I can hear the disapproving emails now because I cannot thinking if you hate the soundboard and you really dislike the mic with all the effects on it, you're gonna fucking hate this.
Well, I've got
sounds like an advert.
mic with the effects doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah. I couldn't get that going before the show, and I've changed I had to recable my studio because I had a hum, and this was driving me insane for weeks.
Yeah,
I just
there
had
was a
to
hum,
find
yeah.
the time to fix this. I hope I fixed it now. I've changed my whole routing, everything, and I've changed some other stuff while I did that. I wasn't happy with the soundboard solution. I've switched around stuff, and so I thought I'd try Mix, which is open source, MI3X.
Yeah.
There's a bit porn in that name.
It's
yeah,
good actually.
I try that out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun actually. I've played around with it a little bit for just for for messing around with DJing. Yeah, it does sound very good. Hopefully the buzz will be gone. Yeah, because that was quite annoying on the recording. Although I wasn't sure that you didn't just have like a wasp stuck in the room somewhere that you needed to get rid of.
Well, you could also have told me that it was annoying.
Well, I thought you'd figure it out, but obviously not. Yeah. Well, you're the one who's been editing the show, so you hear it more than I do. So I assumed you would.
Yeah.
Think about it.
This is like no agenda. We don't talk to it's literally we don't talk to each other except for the show, which is how they do no agenda as well. I think that's actually good because you kind of stay fresh. If we talk to each other all day as well, that would probably would be weird.
Yeah, it
to
would
the
probably
show.
get a bit it would get a bit boring, or we might run out of stuff to talk about. You're not the only one who's been changing your studio recently. I finally got myself one of the Rode mic arms that you've got, so I can. I
Oh,
mean,
nice. Oh, yeah, I can see. Yeah, nice.
there you go. It's no good. I mean, visually, obviously, it's quite interesting, but for you people listening to the audio, it's not going to be very impressive. But
Yeah,
basically, my mic is now on like a spring-mounted arm thing, so I can move it around. I could even
it's like
stand up if I wanted, which I
it's
don't want
like a
to.
radio studio thing. It's really
Yeah,
professional.
it's really nice actually. I like it a lot.
I like them.
Um, yeah.
I bought one when I moved to the UK, and
Mm.
you can get them a lot cheaper, but they start to squeak. And mine hasn't. Like I've moved with this as well, and it hasn't started squeaking, which is
Mhm.
that's when that's not good, especially for radio and podcasting.
No, squeaking's not good. Jetser in the IRC is asking me what make it is. It's the same one Fab's got. It's the Rode. I think it's a PSA one or
Yeah,
PA1. I can't
that's
remember
the
the
one.
exact
Yeah,
model
I
number.
think it's
It's whatever the
PSA1.
most common Rode one is, basically. It's about 60, 70 pounds UK, something like that. But it seems well worth it so far. I only got it the other day, and I'm quite enjoying
Yeah,
playing around with it. Got it
it's
yesterday.
a PSA one. That's what they call
There
it.
you
A
go.
road is that has a weird Swedish Ö. It's got like a cross to the O.
That's right, yeah.
It's
I
like
don't know where they're from,
red.
actually. I wonder where they're from. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I
I'll
wonder if
look
they
it
might
up.
be German or something.
No, then they would have an Ö with the dots.
Yeah.
So
Rode
guys.
microphones. There you go. Australian, it says. I never knew
What?
that.
No.
Rode Microphones is an Australian-based designer.
No.
I've never heard of that. So
They must
good on you.
have been bought from.
Good on you, mate.
Mate.
I fair dinkum. Apparently they're Australian. I never knew that. That's surprising. Yeah. Okay. I'm just looking on their website, but
They
yeah,
used to be called Friedman Electronics.
Friedman. Okay. Yeah, it's not the most.
Wow. Friedman dropped in the O character as a salute to his Scandinavian heritage. Interesting.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Oh.
So he's bloody Australian.
He's
Right.
bloody Australian
Bloody
mic booze.
Australian, mate.
That
Bloody
worked
good
pretty
mic stand.
well.
It's a bloody good mic stand, that mate. Anyway, yeah. So so it's all change over here as well. So a lot more to do on this end of the studio. I have no plans to get to hook up like a mix or anything at the moment, but you never know.
I like
How
that.
bad would that be if we were both kind of like
Yeah,
scratching?
that was DJing.
Yeah, but that would just piss everyone off.
You should
You could sit
actually
there.
try this for Retro Radio. I was thinking when I was setting this up.
Yeah, I think I did ages ago, but no, I didn't quite. I never got into it. IDJC is the one that everybody tells me I should use, and I've played around with it, but I just tend to be old school and just play stuff.
This looks really professional. I mean, you could I could DJ with that now.
No,
I'll be the star of the next party.
There you go then. Well, we await a report on that one. Meanwhile,
and before you go into that, just PSA, not a road PSA, general PSA. I'm up since like 4:30, and it's now like what was it, like 8:30?
8:30
my time. So I've been up a hell of a long time. So my brain is a bit frazzled. Just so people know.
But this is going to be a high energy show then. I just finished
I'm on my second bottle, half-liter bottle of Club Mate. I'm fueled up, motherfucker.
I just finished a 3-hour teleconference at work, which was fucking boring.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And then I just got home before the show after the conference thing. Anyway, so enough of our first world problems. Let's move on. Sad news. You want to talk about this one?
Yeah, this happened today. Read this today. Really disappointed. I'm wearing my my alien hat, my Nostromo hat in salute because H.R. Geiger left us yesterday, I think, or today. The news came out today. He was 74. He is, of course, an artist. He is the guy who designed the Xenomorph, otherwise known as the Alien. from Alien. He worked on stuff for a Dune movie that never happened. If you play Warhammer 40k, that Tyranid army is based all on his designs, very iconic designs. He did painting, sculptures. He did a lot of stuff. Surrealist painter, a really weird dude. And as you can tell by the xenomorph, just good in just doing crazy, scary shit. He's got this bar in Switzerland, which I talked to one of our listeners today, who is in Switzerland. He's the guy at CERN.
Oh yeah.
And he's been there. I've always wanted to go there. It's really cool. It's got like bone stuff at the ceiling, like
It's got bone stuff.
It's got the ceiling is basically a vertebra. Looks really cool. I'll put a link in the show notes to the Verge story. They had a lot of pictures, as the Verges want to do, of his stuff. And he'll be missed. He did good stuff.
Yeah, and he iconic designer. I mean, everybody knows the Alien, the Alien kind of characters and so on. And yeah, it's just sad news. 74 doesn't seem that old as well. Maybe I'm getting old, but 74 doesn't seem that old in this day and age to go. Anyway, so what else have we got then? What's this one? You're using too much coke.
News came out. The Britain.
Me personally, I don't use cocaine. That's not my thing.
Britain. They did a study. I'm guessing.
Oh, we may have lost Fab. He's frozen. We're gonna have to.
Okay, Google just signed me out of the Hangout.
You're back now.
Yeah,
you froze for a minute.
Yeah, because it signed me out.
Okay.
That didn't help. Well, thanks for that, Google. Okay, let's just continue in stride.
So you might as well start again. So the Brits are using too much cocaine, is what you're telling me.
Britain, yes. The UK. I'm guessing they mean London. I'm guessing this is London.
Probably,
it's cocaine. They did a study of. Basically, they wanted to do a study about drugs. Medicine in drinking water. There's always these stories that it's because
and
people they're taking drugs and they're pissing it out, and it's not filtered out through the filtration system properly, because drugs obviously they're designed to stay in the water supply and shit. Yeah, no, they're not designed to stay in the water supply, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
they're designed to actually stay where they are and do stuff. So
to last.
They figured out that there's a hell of a lot of cocaine. They found traces of cocaine
in the toilet system.
In the drinking water in the recycling plant. Like after the fucking recycling, because you're using too much coke.
I'm actually drinking a big glass of water at the moment, and I was just thinking how un-rock and roll it was, but now I've totally changed my perspective. This stuff's amazing.
It's Coke water.
It's Coke water, yeah.
Today, anybody got some cocaine for me? I need some cocaine. Hey, my nose is clogged up from the lack of the cocaine. I have to get, and now I got like this sinus thing going on. I can't get rid of it.
I totally shot one of my nostrils.
Yeah, that was John C.
British.
Dvorak on Coke. This is actually from one of our listeners as well.
Okay.
We'll be talking about later in the saloon. He's put up a clip collection of No Agenda clips, and I picked a few out because they were so good. Yeah, too much Coke. Lay off the Coke over there.
Yep. In the meantime, those crazy Austrians.
Oh my God!
They won Eurovision at the weekend with this transvestite kind of girl dude. I don't know.
Conchita Wurst. Which means Wurst means sausage, but
I was going to say it means sausage. Yeah.
It's German. It's also German slang to say "Es ist mir Wurst" means I don't care, and that's why he named his character. The guy, the singer, is called Thomas Neuwirth, and he's got a transvestite character, who Conchita Wurst, who looks like a beautiful woman
with a beard.
With a beard, but not a beard. I think he's dyeing it. because it's so dark. It's like at first I thought it was airbrushed on.
Yeah, it does
but
look a bit.
It's an amazing beard. Like as a dude, I'm totally envious of that beard.
Yeah.
But he also looks like it just melts your brain because he looks like a wonderful, good-looking lady, and then he has a beard, which is the point of the character, I think. And yeah, so everybody's saying they won because Putin and the Russians were against this, and of course Putin is evil, so he needs to be rebuffed everywhere, even at the European. So I think it's rigged.
I was gonna say.
I've watched. Now this is a very cliche thing to do, but I actually do have a good friend who's gay, who I use. Actually, Katie and me got together. First that we met somewhere else, but we basically got together on one of his at one of his parties, and we used to watch ESC. Because he loved that, and it was kind of fun to watch, and make fun. It
can be good for a party, yeah. Laugh at all the crazy people.
Of course, it's always been gay, and I don't mean this derogatory. It's just been. It's very, all the songs like his song.
Camp, I think, is the term you're looking for.
Well, no. Also, like some of the songs are they're not camp. They're also like his song, which is it's like a Shirley Bassey. He's got a great voice, by the way. He's got like a really Shirley Bassey kind. It could be a Bond song, but it's also like if you listen to the lyrics, it's like it's Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive, that kind of thing. That's what I mean with gay. That kind of I will survive. That, and it's that kind of music. So we always used to watch this, which is kind of fun. But I've always thought for years that it's rigged because they always come up with these like head to head. Very often they come up with a story, like with two people or two countries that are fighting and shit, and it's always a bit weird. It's a bit like wrestling sometimes, but who knows? It's still fun. I like the Dutch entry that nearly won with the guy that looked like.
I didn't watch it this year.
That looked like Dylan. I didn't watch it either. I just listened to like a few songs.
I have watched it in the past. Since I don't know whether you'd have seen it, but Terry Wogan used to present Eurovision over here, and he was fucking hilarious. and honestly, it was brilliant because he clearly hated all of the acts, and he'd get progressively drunk as the night went on and more abusive.
So basically, like me when I'm watching it.
Yeah, but he was really, really funny. And to be fair, Graham Norton, who does it now.
So you're saying I'm not funny? Is that what you're saying?
Graham Norton, who does it now, is pretty good. But he's not Terry Wogan, and that kind of broke it for me. I don't know. I'm just thinking that this dude should apply to be like, if you're saying about the Shirley Bassey thing, he should apply to be like the next Bond girl.
He should do the next Bond song. Yes,
that would really shake it up a bit, wouldn't it? I mean,
but Bond is.
I'm just imagining the film would be awesome. I imagine, I see your beard is bigger than mine. Conchita Wurst.
that name would work as well, wouldn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
It should be like the evil Bond girl,
Yeah.
There's something strange about you.
Yeah, she lays him, and then he lays her, and then he figures out, hey, there's something. Mm-hmm. That was fun, but something was weird.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know. Bond is so.
I don't think Bond would care.
At its core, no, but like the Bond franchise, the theme is so macho, misogynistic that it really didn't fit. Like even if they've gone away a bit with.
I was going to say they've updated it now. Yeah.
Which is I think why I don't like it. I mean, not that I like misogynistic stuff, but somehow that's Bond. That's just like.
I like Daniel Craig as Bond. I didn't think I would, but I did.
Well, Brosnan managed to get away from the women-hating stuff, right? Mm. But he was just very macho.
It's gotta be so macho. Anyway,
Bond has to be. I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
that's part of it.
I would say anyway. Let's not get too far down that road. Some exciting news for you up next, I imagine.
Yes. Oh, I completely missed this. Bruce Springsteen released an EP for Record Store Day, like only 7,500 copies, something like that. Which obviously I didn't get one. Also, I don't have a vinyl player.
A record
So I
player.
download, vinyl thing. One of them. One
The
of
fact
them.
that you don't even know. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I looked it up once on the Google machine.
I was going to say, nobody calls it a vinyl player.
He's got going on here. It could turn into something really big.
Yeah.
You stepped all over that clip. We do that
I couldn't
again.
hear it. I couldn't hear it.
Wait, here we go. No, it doesn't. Oh God.
Now it's died.
No, I'm too stupid to.
Yep, I looked it up on the old Google machine, and there's quite a deal he's got going on here. It could turn into something really big.
Could turn into something really big. I like those guys.
Yeah, the old Google machine. Yeah. So, well, I'm sure there'll be digital copies around somewhere. Although the original ones would be quite collectible. So, there's
well, I got the digital copy. It's actually quite okay.
Okay.
Cool. It's outtakes from the last album, but
I see. So it's all the outtakes.
No, it's actually songs that didn't make the cut.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So it's
as
not
Bruce
just
goes, they're better than other people's
Mhm.
actual songs.
Yeah, it's a matter of opinion. I'm sure they are better than some other people's songs.
Fuck you.
But would they win Eurovision? That's the question.
No, they're too good for Eurovision. Political, mostly.
You've been blogging quite a bit lately, and you're trying to sell 33 million email addresses, or this is not you personally?
No, but I wrote a story.
Buy 33 million email addresses.
Yeah, I wrote a story about a guy who pitched them to some of our readers. So I wrote a story about it, and it got picked up by Spiegel Online. And it actually got the story they wrote was like head of their technology section. I was like the primary source. Yahoo!
Nice.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm just looking at it, although obviously I can't read the email because it's in German, but I'm just looking at it now.
Yeah, hello, do you want to buy some emails?
Yeah, you want to buy some emails? Yeah.
We have lots of emails, yeah?
Yeah, we have email.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, and so one thing people have been asking us about for a long time, actually, not a long time, for a little while, is this whole BitLove thing, the thing that Tim Pritlove does, which is the very famous German podcaster. He's got a torrent system for distributing.
Yeah, he's called Pritlove. The system is called BitLove. He also has a collection of WordPress plugins for podcasts. It's called Podlove.
Okay. Well, we've got a BitLove thing.
I set up an account. Yeah, so basically I saw it when it first came out, and I thought that's kind of neat, but we don't really need that. Then some listeners said, look at that, and I thought, yeah, I'll look at that, and I put it on the to-do list. Never got around to it. But then I got a bit of time, and I kind of felt like it. With everybody saying, net neutrality, or as we are calling it now, packet equality. I call it that. I don't believe it'll jeopardize our show, but I thought, well, if they feel like that, why not have another avenue? So if they shut us down, or if the podcasting patent shuts us down, which people were worried about as well, there's a BitTorrent. So how it works is basically it distributes the show via torrents. So I, as a podcast, it was really easy to set up. You just put the feed in, and it pulls in the episodes from the feed. It downloads them from our server, and then seeds them.
Okay, yeah, to kick off the torrent.
Right, and then other people from there on, like if they download it and seed it, then it just works like normal BitTorrent. But it also has an RSS feed for like the torrents. I don't really know how that works, and I don't really know how well it works on, for example, mobile devices and stuff. But basically, this is a test. I set it up. I put a thread in the Saloon. So people could, like, if you want to, try it out and give us some feedback. I'm experimenting with this. I think this would be a cool idea. I might also, in the future, try BitTorrent Sync, which is what No Agenda uses, which is actually a backup system, but you can also, you have a secret with which you can basically subscribe to that folder and the content. So if you post that, then everybody can, have read-only access, for example, to that folder. So we could distribute the show that way as well. I'm looking at playing. Yeah, I'm playing around.
It's worth trying out these things. Sounds very cool.
Yeah.
We got, well, speaking of the packet equality thing, which we're going to get into.
That's what I call net neutrality now.
Yeah, there's been some more stuff going on lately that is pretty dodgy. The right to be forgotten is an interesting topic at the moment.
Did you see that was a ruling that came down today from the European Court of Justice?
I only saw some of it, but basically they've ruled against Google, or they've ruled that Google must make an effort to kind of anonymize and so on.
This is actually a ruling that's been in effect in Germany de facto basically since 2009. And why I'm putting this in with net neutrality, because I think this is a lot more dangerous to the internet. We had a big discussion about net neutrality, which I'm going to get to. We had that in the saloon. We'll do that in the second half of the show. But I think this is a lot worse. So basically, there was a Spanish dude. His house got, I don't even know what you call that in English. When you run out of money and you basically
repossessed.
Yes, exactly. His house got repossessed, and that got in a newspaper. And like 16 years later, you could still find that in Google because they digitalized the newspaper.
Did you say digitalized?
Yes.
Isn't it digitized?
I don't know.
I thought it was digitized.
Maybe I
got that. Digitalized is a word. Well, maybe it's because it's
Yeah, in German it's digitalisiert. That's probably where I got it from.
Okay.
They digitalized it, yeah. They put the paper in the scanner machine and then
Did they put it in the old Google machine? Is that what happened?
Machine, exactly. So this now means that if somebody wants to have his personal information under certain circumstances removed from Google, then he can write to Google, and Google then has to can tell like websites or like newspapers to take off stuff, which basically unpublish things from the internet by law. Which I think it's stupid. I was discussing this with colleagues today. One colleague on Twitter. And after like a discussion of like half an hour or so, I just said, Bob Dylan wrote a song about this in the 60s. It's called "The Times They Are Changing,"
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't start swimming, you sink like a stone. That's what Bob says. And I think we can't. Yes, it's not the 1800s anymore. Stuff used to go away. The newspaper write about it, but then people, it would be in an archive somewhere where you wouldn't have access to it. That's true, but times are changing. Times change, and that's just how it goes. Like what pisses me off is people like, oh, the internet's the greatest invention in human history ever, and you can find all information, blah 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 blah, except this information because it's forbidden by law. I mean, you can't have it like it goes both ways. This is ridiculous. This won't work. Like, okay, this is now European law, and we'll have to abide by it. Like, and journalists will have to be really careful if they put names in, and they have to redact them or whatever. But
how are they going to enforce it? I don't get. How is it even enforceable?
They'll sue you. So if you think if your name crop, well, this is after time period, right? So if your name crops up because you were in a newspaper article, you can go to Google and says you have to delist this. And presumably they can also go to the newspaper, but this ruling was basically Google saying no, like we won't delist this stuff. And the amazing thing that this court ruled, which I find really disturbing and really dangerous, is they basically said that a listing on Google is more important than the actual content of a newspaper. So if a newspaper puts something online, like they might not have to take that down, but Google has to take the link down. Like, and I had journalists arguing for this. This is a good idea. Google is the best research tool ever. Like, if people start delisting shit from Google by, like, threatening Google with lawsuits, this is ridiculous. This is dangerous. This is shit. This is a peril to free speech.
The thing is, though, I mean, I know it's easy to feel like Google's the only search engine in the world. It certainly seems like that some days. It's not, and you know, what's to say that you won't find this stuff in other places?
Well, but then you go to that search engine as well. You know.
Right, okay.
So if you've got money, if you really want to get something removed, let's say somebody wrote something about Rupert Murdoch like 15 years ago, and then he's got money, he's got lawyers, he can inundate everybody with like threats and cease and desist letters, and can make stuff about him disappear. Actually, the court case in Germany, which years ago, a guy who murdered a television actor and was sentenced to jail, went to jail, got rehabilitated, spent like 20 years in jail, got back out, then sued Google because there were records of his name because he had murdered that guy, right? He wanted to have that delisted after 20 years. I mean, I'm all for rehabilitation and stuff, right? But you murdered a guy. This is not going to change. I mean, you can go to jail, you're rehabilitated, you're reintegrated in the community, but you cannot make the fact disappear and reports about this disappear that you murdered that guy. You took somebody's life, for fuck's sake. You know, it's. I mean, I wouldn't expect, like, if my house got repossessed and that got in the newspaper, I'd expect that to be out there forever. And yes, it'd be shit if I wanted to get employed and my employers Googled for me and found that, but hey, that's life. You know, you got to live with the consequences. I mean, this pisses me off. People don't have balls anymore. They're like, oh, I want everything to be forgotten about me. Like, Christ.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's just. I tend to agree with most of what you're saying. I'm sure it's a slightly more complicated issue than that. I think, you know, if you committed a crime and it's on record and you were arrested and it was in paper and stuff. You can't really say 20 or 30 years later that should not be, that should be deleted. You know, the whole record should be taken away. How
before
would that
you go
even
on,
work?
yeah, I just have to sorry, I forgot something completely. Well, in Germany, the judge decided. They said no, because they said we have to weigh your personal rights against the information, like the society and what needs, the right of information, and they said society weighs more in this case because you fucking murdered somebody. But still, it could have gone the other way.
Yeah, could have done. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. There was stuff in last year, I think it was. There's a lot of stuff about teachers, people who were applying to be teachers, and stuff about criminal records and checks they do on people who apply to be teachers and so on, and there's all kinds of stuff going on there. I think, you would probably want to know that someone working at the school where your kids went wasn't, a serial killer or something, or didn't have a record, even if they say they're reformed or whatever. Yeah. It's still something that's a bit. Or,
like, I would want to know in 10 years that fucking the administration of George W. Bush, and what was the douchebag's name?
Dick Cheney.
I can't. Yeah, Dick Cheney. See, this is why I need Google, because I can't fucking remember. Who fucking lied when they went into Iraq, right? And they're already saying, when it comes to Ukraine, Kerry is now saying, well, Putin's breaking international law. Nobody talks about what they fucking did in Iraq. Now, if you give them the tools to make that go away, they will make that go away.
They will, yeah, but I think that's
for this. We need to nail them by the balls in 20 years.
I think that's a different argument, though, because I think a lot of those big government kind of bodies and stuff already have a lot of influence over, media and history and so on that we don't. I mean, a lot of the stuff we probably never even got to see.
Yeah, but this is going to make it worse.
Yeah,
and the other thing that really grinds my gears is, which I want to mention as well, because that came into the I was discussing stuff with people, and this came into the packet equality thing as well, which I think is a lot worse, which I also talked about on No Agenda recently, which I find really interesting, is the hate speech laws, which we already have in the UK. They just introduced some in the US, and I'm thinking the European Union is next. I mean, this will come as well. I mean, I can hardly complain. We always had them in Germany, you know, the thing with the swastika flags, and I've always been against that. But this is like everybody is infringing on free speech these days, and it's basically just because people are just like pussies. It's like we need laws against cyberbullying and hate speech and stuff, and people think, oh, it's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. But what they don't see is once you have a law like this, you can basically free, like the guys who make the laws and who make policy can like reinterpret what hate speech means. I don't even, like, people today have no concept on the internet. They have no concept of what hate means. Like, this pisses me off. Like, people, you don't get that because you're the nice guy on the show, right? But I rant all the time. So people come to me and say, well, you hate everything. You're so negative. You hate everything. They don't have an idea what the word hate means. Hate means, you know, when the Nazis killed Jews, that was hate. You know, the Bolsheviks, that was hate. That's hate. When they go around, you know, murdering people and killing villages, and like in Ukraine, when they put people in buildings and set the buildings on fire, that is hate. And, you know, me complaining about stuff on a podcast is not hate. That's criticism. It's just ridiculous, but you can see them.
I think I do agree with you broadly, but I think everything you described there was violence. I think the word for that is violence. What you were saying before.
Hate can, let me quote Yoda. You know, hate can lead to violence.
Yeah, it can. It can.
The problem is that hate itself is a lot, a lot stronger. Like.
Yeah, but I think everybody, you know, I think it's a bit of a cliche, but I think love and hate are both very strong words that people use without really meaning them. And,
yes,
and you know, people go, oh, I love this sandwich. You don't actually love that sandwich. You know, it's like,
you're not making love to it. You're not putting your dick in
that's
it.
not what I mean. But, you know, well, maybe you are. I don't know.
You're going to marry this sandwich. It's so good.
Yeah, but it just doesn't make sense. I think it's a difficult one. The cyberbullying thing, I don't know, is a difficult one. I think you're right that people overreact, and they certainly do overreact to a lot of things. I mean, I was using a piece of software online the other day, and I think that this kind of, it's weird because people complain constantly about the decline of morals in society and all this kind of stuff, and you know, I don't know, maybe that's true to some degree. I don't know, but then there's all this weird like neoconservatism shit going on because like there's I was using this thing the other day, and it had this web tool, and it had a number of fonts in it that you could choose from. It was about, I don't know, 30 or 40 fonts or something. One of the fonts was called Sexsmith. That was the name of it, Sexsmith. You know, it's nothing particularly offensive about that. And I was looking for some other piece of information about software, so I read the FAQ, and the first item on the FAQ was the question was, can you remove the word Sexsmith or change the name because I find it offensive? Since when has sex been an offensive word? It's just a descriptive term. It doesn't. I don't get it. But I do think people do overreact to some things like that.
Well,
but go on.
No, you go on.
But I was going to say at the same time though, I do think cyberbullying is an interesting thing because I mean, all right, there's a difference between someone just calling you a dickhead on a forum or something, then fine. You know, that's not too serious, but there are cases where kids are getting basically terrorized and victimized by people at their school through things like, I mean, and maybe there are different ways to deal with it, there may be better ways to deal with it, but there are kids who've committed suicide because of the way they've been bullied, and that can't be, you know, that can't be right.
But they're kids that committed suicide 20 years ago. I was bullied all through school, through high school. I was like the last 4 or 5 years in school for me were hell. Like, and I didn't, because I'm not that kind of guy. I never felt like killing myself. I felt like breaking somebody's jaw. But you know, I know how bad that is. But making laws like that against it, like especially in the U.S. these laws means minors they can go to jail for this. Like, for stalking somebody on fucking Facebook. Like Dvorak was talking this on No Again. He said, just, like, if you can't take it, don't have a fucking Facebook account. It's not like you need the Facebook account. But the thing that pisses me off is, the problem is not people overreacting. Well, that's the problem, but that's just annoying. The problem is, if you make a law, and you say this is hate speech, and you call it hate speech, and then people redefine what hate means to mildly annoying somebody. Like we remember we're going on about this with the poppies in the UK, when somebody on Twitter burnt a poppy, and they picked him up for hate speech. They arrested the guy for burning a plastic poppy. Like, seriously? I mean,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, when we talked about that on the show.
It's just people, they have no concept of what is actually bad and what not. Like, I get in discussions with people on the internet, like, you're horrible and you hate everybody and you're just trolling and you hate everybody. It's like as if I was in, like, fucking Afghanistan with a rifle shooting people. You know, that's okay. Oh, they're patriots, you know. I literally had discussions with people who I was discussing basically military with them, because I don't like the military. I don't like shooting people. And they're like, you hate everybody. You're just hating on them people. It's like, yeah, you have a problem with that, but you don't have a problem with people being in a country shooting other people with machine guns. That's okay, but me saying on the internet that's bad, that should be outlawed? I mean, what the fuck? People, don't get me started. This is what's the problem with the internet. If this keeps going on, we won't have free speech. Like, this is what endangers this podcast. You know,
I would argue that I'm not sure we actually free speech anyway right now. I mean, much like your packet equality argument, I can't say, you know, I can't go out in public and say anything I want without being arrested. Much like, you know, like the guy with the poppy and all of that. You know, it's difficult. Whereas at the same time, you have laws in Germany to stop people from marching with, you know, Nazi flags and stuff. So, you know,
that's horrible as well. That's just stupid as well. I mean, they're basically trying to change people to better people with laws, and that never works. Like,
yeah, but a lot of people think that it does. It doesn't seem to have.
Yeah, but it doesn't work. Like, they need to read history books. But anyway, I just have I'm afraid that we, at some point, because of this, we won't be able to do the show. Because I've said stuff on the show before that, according to the US, if you read the US laws, is hate speech.
Well, like, just don't go to the US, because you won't be leaving.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, you know, remember when I said about Leonard Pertering that he looks like he's 12?
Yeah.
Like, the only thing where that wouldn't be cyberbullying in the US is because he's over 25.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I said this on a podcast and broadcast this to thousands of people. I think that would be cyberbullying for them. Like, and well, they can have laws like that in the US. I don't give a fuck. But I can see this coming in the EU as well.
It probably will. I mean, I don't know. I still think it's a complicated issue. I think now, you know, knowing what Leonard is like, I don't think he gives a shit what you say about him. But,
yeah,
but at the same time, you know, calling someone that in front of thousands of people, maybe it is bullying of a kind. I don't know. I'm not saying it needs to be illegal, but I'm saying, you know, it is some kind of, you know.
Oh my God! People should grow a pair. Seriously.
Well, I wouldn't argue with that. In the meantime, I was talking about loving sandwiches and stuff.
Let's talk about
people...
tech. Sandwiches.
No, very quickly.
Let's talk about sandwiches.
Yeah, very quickly. I was talking about love and hate and all the rest of it. And who was it now? Magic 8 Ball in the IRC produced a link to a documentary called "Married to the Eiffel Tower."
Yes, I've seen it. There are people apparently who marry things. It's a thing. Apparently, it's a condition. What? Yes, apparently this is a condition. What was it called again? Jesus.
It says objectum sexuals or something?
Yes, yeah, that's it. Objectivism or something. Something. Yes, these are people who literally think they're in love with objects. I read about this and I couldn't, you know how you have these things where you can't decide if they're just taking you for a ride, if they made this up, or if it's actually real, because people are
seems a bit
weird. Well, it's weird, dude. I mean, Conchita Wurst. Case in point.
But there are people. Yeah, this woman apparently is. How can? Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to get into this. I'm just thinking now. How could she be married to the Eiffel Tower? And plus, how do we know the Eiffel Tower is not married to anyone else? In which case, it's probably bigamy, which is just not allowed. You know, it's not legal, unless they're Mormons, and then maybe it's okay. I don't know. I'm not sure how it works. Unless the Eiffel Tower is a Mormon, maybe that's the subplot.
I've got a song for you on that topic. Just keep going. Let's talk about some tech stuff now.
Okay. You'll have to turn it down a bit because I can't hear very well. Apart from that. Okay.
That was the wrong slider. I just made it slower again. Sorry.
Ah, God.
I'm gonna get used to this.
Yeah, let's talk about some tech stuff because we've been going for like well over half. It's like trying to do a show with Jazzy Jeff or something. Anyway, if that makes me the Fresh Prince, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what
Yes.
I'm doing, you know.
That's that song somewhere.
As long as we can do Boom Shake the Room, I did quite like that song. And Summertime was alright as well.
Jesus, I need to find a bug report. This thing has way too many sliders.
Yeah. All right, and so a mere 40-something minutes into the show, let's talk about some tech stuff. Yeah, Oracle versus Google. That's been going on for a while now, and there was a big ruling last week, I believe, end of last week.
Yes. Well, it's the next round. Basically, the last one, Google won.
Mm-hmm.
And now the appeals court said, Oracle has won. So the issue is, oh God, let me recap. We talked about this on the show for a long time, and people didn't agree with me, as they usually do. Well, I don't know. Basically, the issue is Oracle owns Java now, and Oracle said when you created Android, you can run Java apps, but you didn't use Java. You didn't use Java itself for reasons, a number of reasons, and you basically
money. Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much. Although it's open source and it's kind of, but anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But you copied it in a way that is API compatible. So it isn't really, because normal Java apps don't just like that run on Android, but kinda. It's all like very complicated. And so Oracle's saying you copied our stuff. Google said, no, we wrote our own thing. We're just API compatible, and you shouldn't be able to, with copyright law, prevent us from being API compatible. Now, Oracle says the way of coming up with an API constitute a work, which means it would be copyrightable.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the two sides, pretty much everybody in the open source community, all the developer freedom are with Google, because they're saying if they rule that basically that APIs are copyrightable, that would set a dangerous precedent, which would mean, you couldn't do API compatible stuff, which I don't think is a problem if you're just talking open source. But if you have proprietary software and you want to interface with that over APIs,
you say you need an API. That's crazy.
Right, you'd have to pay license fees. Now, I'm not sure if it's that crazy. My problem with this is, okay, I can see where Oracle makes a pretty good point that, Bradley would probably disagree with me on this, and possibly Fontana. I was going to say,
you're really trying to upset people lately. You've had the net neutrality thing. Now you're trying to. Now you're siding with Oracle.
This is years old.
What is next?
I was covering this for The Age, and this is what I thought back then. It's like, if you read Oracle's arguments, they make a pretty good argument that it's a work. Now, you could still rule that that's not a work, and you probably wouldn't break copyright law. That's I think what should probably happen. But they make a good point, because if that, because an API is something, you create that, right? That is, like, if 2 lines of code are work, which all the developers want as well, even the open source ones, because they want to enforce copyleft.
Mm-hmm.
They basically want everything to be a work, pretty much every small thing, so they can enforce stuff. Then that would be a work as well. You'd probably have to change copyright law in the US to have like an exception and say, well, this is what an API is, but then you'd have to clearly define what an API is and stuff in legal terms, and then have an exemption or something like that. They could probably do that. Now, the real problem is that Google is really in a tainted position here, because when they wrote Delvik, the Java implementation for Android, they can't really document that they did a clean room thing, where they just put developers in a room that had never used Java before or something like that, which is bloody hard to do.
I was going to say, who are they going to have that's never used Java before?
Well, Well, I don't know, but they can't. Well, we probably could have used Java, but you kind of have to demonstrate that these people didn't look at Java when they wrote their stuff. And the stuff that's in Android is, and that pretty much everybody says this. I don't think anybody can disagree with that who's looked at this. Is bloody similar, right? This is not. We wrote a whole different system and made it API compatible. Also, Oracle's contention is Oracle's pissed off because what you can't do is just take a normal Java app and run it on Android. So Oracle's thing was, this is license free. Everybody can use this, is what Sun used to say as well. And this all goes back to Sun. So it's not only Oracle's fault, although we can blame them because they're evil.
Hang on, I've got a call coming in from Simon Phipps. I just need to...
well, the thing is that they kind of said, well, if you're really API compatible, so if you can just take a Java app and run it on your runtime, then no worries. But you can't do that, right? So there's a kind of it's not really lock-in, but it's kind of a soft lock-in as well. You just can't take normal. Oracle is saying, well, we wrote, or Sun, whatever, in this case we, because they are Sun now, wrote like this, they've been working on Java for mobile, like J2ME or whatever, for like years. Like, because before Google even got the idea of making a mobile operating system.
Yeah, but that hasn't really worked for them, has it?
Well, but I can see where they're now like really pissed off that Google comes along and does a thing that doesn't work with their thing, but kind of does what their thing does, and is then kind of API compatible, but you can't run their apps. Like, that's a really shitty thing that Google did with Android. And
it is, and I agree with that. But the point is, we're talking about Oracle here. Oracle are the biggest bunch of motherfuckers in the world, and they have done heinous things. And they are coming. All they want to do is have a pop at Google for something that they've done hundreds of times, even worse. It's purely about money. They just want the money out of Google.
I completely agree with you. But what you have to remember is that Sun, which people in the open source world generally loved, and which is, you're talking of Simon Phipps there, which is where he came from as well. They set this all up. Now, when the old Sun guys go, well, this is all Oracle, that's bullcrap. They they basically built the gun that Oracle's now pointing at Google. The only thing they didn't do was pull the trigger. But what they did is they built a gun, loaded the fucking gun, cocked the gun, and unlocked the gun, pulled the safety off, and gave it to Jerry. Not Jerry. What's his name? Fucking Ellison. Larry. Damn it, Jerry Ellison. They gave
Ellison. Yeah.
They gave it to Larry and said, "Here." And now they're complaining that he pulled the fucking trigger. This is what pisses me off. And they just muddied the water when they built this. This was not a clean room implementation. So this is the problem they're gonna have in court. Like,
well, according to Wikipedia, Jerry Ellison is an American football player. And he's a running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for 4 seasons. And I just don't see what he's got to do with any of this.
Who told you this?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. But like that, yeah. So I think the problem we're gonna have here is that Google did this when they started. Well, it's also not. This is also more complicated because it's not Google's fault. This was Android, the company they bought, right? So they made all of this, and then Google bought them. And I think during this lawsuit, Google's been basically kicking themselves that they bought this company. Well, they've got Android now, but they're kind of also hating themselves because they didn't make sure that was the clean room implementation. Because when Android was just a startup, they were like, oh, as startups are, they don't care about like being sued by Oracle like 10 years later. So this is a mess. This whole thing's a mess. It's going to stay a mess.
That's Google's fault for not doing their due diligence, they call it, when they bought Android.
Completely. And this is why they have the problem now. Now, everybody says in the coverage that this judge didn't understand what he was doing. I don't know. I didn't read into this as much as I did when I still covered it for The Age. I don't have time for that. I need to read other stuff. I found it very interesting reading a lot of tech coverage in this. The Verge, Ars Technica, other reputable journalistic sources. When you read their stories, I've got the Verge one linked. Ars Technica is even worse. They're basically, this is horrible. This is going to set a horrible. They don't do reporting. They're basically, when I covered this for The Age, it was really hard to write about this without picking a side and going, this is going to set a dangerous. But you can't say it sets a dangerous precedent. You can't say that when you're reporting on news. That's not objective. Like, people give me shit for not being objective, like, every day, and then Ars Technica writes something like this. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous.
This is on The Verge. It says dangerous.
Well, that's on The Verge. It also says that on Ars Technica. Ars Technica is even worse. Ars Technica has, like, an example in there where he compares it to a book, and there's, like, some really shoddy...
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree with you that it is sensationalist and whatever, but there's no.
It's wrong reporting. It's not journalism. These
are like essentially blogs, aren't they? And they're essentially what I would call blogs.
No, The Verge is not a blog.
Well, I mean, there's no.
Ars Technica is owned by Condé Nast, one of the biggest publishers. They're not run like a blog.
It doesn't make any difference. There's no law regulating what they have to say and what they don't have to say about, how biased they can be or whether they can take sides.
Do whatever they want.
The only law is you saying you don't like it, and that's fair enough.
I'm not talking about the law. I think the people like that, the editor who signed this off should be fired. This is not like, the only way you can publish something like this is if you put column over it. I mean, Jesus Christ. But, I mean, you are basically agreeing with me because you're saying they're like a blog, which is what they don't want to be.
Well, yeah, but I don't read many of these things anyway. So they're all blogs. They're all blogs to me. Yeah, I don't.
Get off my lawn, you fucking bloggers.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, on this very subject, the Free as in Freedom show will be making a comeback. Actually, it hasn't been on the air for quite some time, and that's the podcast, Ogcast, I should call it, that Bradley and Karen do, who now both work for the Software Freedom Conservancy, and obviously they have a lot of insight into this and legal knowledge and opinions and so on. And I edited last night. I edited the first show they've done in, I don't know, 6 months or maybe more, maybe almost 9 months, something like that. And it's on this very subject. So I'll I'll encourage people to have a look at faif.us. That's FAIF. .us, and their new show should be out fairly soon. If you want to hear other opinions on this as well. Meantime, I suspect Fab has frozen and been kicked out or something because I can't actually, I can't see him moving. Yeah, let's just see. Let me just see if I can get him back on. No, I don't know what's going on at the moment with the Google Hangout, but he's just frozen. And now, I don't know. It's Google didn't like what he was saying. You may be right there, actually. I don't know what to do now. Has he gone out of the IRC as well? Is his internet connection gone? Oh no, he's still in IRC apparently. That's weird. Okay. Anyone listening there on the IRC, I know there's a few of you. I don't really know what's going on. Fab's frozen, and I can't speak to him for some reason. I'm hoping he's going to come back. According to my screen, YouTube is still live. That's what it's telling me anyway. Bring out the Fab hand puppet. Yeah, I suppose I could do. Ellison straight. Yeah, maybe. Although I don't know, because he seems to be like defending Oracle, which is a weird position. So I don't know. Maybe that'll get him to come back if I say this is what you get. Do you know what? It is funny, isn't it? That at the point where he starts talking about, oh yeah, there we go, waiting for people to join the video call. It says now. It is odd that at the point where he starts complaining about Google and having a go at at Google and supporting Oracle, that's the point where mysteriously the Google Hangout stops working. Oh, it's still live, so people can still see me. Okay, that's interesting. So hello to people on YouTube. You can still see me apparently. That's weird because I can't see anything on my screen. I can kind of see it actually. Maybe I can kind of see myself a bit. There we go. I can see myself now. Well, that's a bit scary. But I don't know. I don't know what's happened to Fab. He's just disappeared. This is most odd. He's not. Let's see. I don't know what's going on now. Never diss the Raspberry Pi Foundation or they'll cut your ice crust. Yeah, they might. They might. I don't ever really slag them off, luckily, so that's okay. The kill switch that they've built into every Raspberry Pi. Oh, here we go. He's coming back now. Computer died. Oh, okay. Apparently the Hangout is still live. Oh, here we go. Yep, I'm still here. The computer died. Okay. I wonder if there was a Google bullet. He should come back in a minute. This is thrilling entertainment for all you people on the Icecast and YouTube as well. Getting to look at my ugly face on the video. Okay, I think Fab's rejoining now. We shall see in a second. I don't even have a guitar or anything here to play. So I can now. It's Tommy Bobbins says guitar time, but there's no. The guitars aren't here. They're all next door. Can I invite you? Hang on. How the fuck do I do that? Control room, screen share, chat. Control room, is that what it's under? No. How the fuck do I add someone? Let's see. Yeah, the Hangout is really far behind real time. Whoever's saying that Magic 8 Ball. This is another reason why I advocate Icecast. It really is. Where the hell is that? Hangout toolbox. Oh shit. Let's get rid of that. How the fuck can I add someone? Screen share? No, I don't want that. Go away. Chat? No. Why can't I just add someone? I don't think. Oh, hang on. He's back. I can't hear him. I can see you now. Okay. I don't hear you now at the moment. I'm assuming you can't hear me either. Oh, I heard something then. No, it's gone off again. I can see you talking. I heard something very briefly then, and then you went off again. I'm going to keep humming for now. Still don't hear anything. Still don't hear anything. Still don't hear anything. Oh. No. I heard something click there for a second. And then it went dead. It was a fart. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. That was the only thing that could get through the mic was a loud fart. It's all gone very quiet, hasn't it? If you want to play with this recording arm thing more, it's quite cool. It's kind of stretched. Oh, I'm pushing it over there. It's kind of stretched at the moment.
Hello, hello, hello.
Now I can hear you.
Sorry for all of this. My computer completely froze. And I mean, it like died completely. Had to like hard reset it.
Weird.
That was nice. Yeah.
I take it the Google Trojan worked. Just as you start slagging them off, it goes.
Yeah. Let me see something. Say something.
Hello.
Yeah.
I presume you're still recording.
Yeah, but now you're on my recorder.
Hello.
Keep talking.
Hello.
On there.
Hello. I don't know. It's not my choice. Hello. This is exciting for everyone on the Icecast. I can't think of anything else really to talk about.
Keep talking.
Okay. I'm trying desperately to think of something to talk about.
It's good. I'm still recording. We can completely rejigger this. And then we're good.
Okay.
So where were we? Something, and then everything was there. Oh, one thing I need to try before we go. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Oh, for fuck's sake! I hate you. Oh yeah, why don't you just crash again?
There's definitely something going on there.
Yeah.
As I said before the show, it really wasn't a good idea to build your studio on an Indian burial ground. That was a really bad idea. It'd be like what's that? There's an episode of South Park where is it now? I can't remember. One of the things is on.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. I can hear you, but you obviously.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes. But you obviously can't hear me.
You can hear me now.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a delay now.
Oh.
No, I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There must be a hell of a delay.
Ton of delay now. Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
I say one, and then you say two. 1,
2.
So about a minute of delay.
Is your video still on HD? No. As we found last time, if you switch the HD off, it stopped the delay a bit, but it's not on HD.
I can.
You've frozen again. I bet you he's gone again. I can hear. I know you're still. All right, your camera's frozen.
I'm switching. Yeah. Well, you are now. Oh, there's audio only. What the fuck's going on? Go away.
I like this view though. This is much better with the logo and it's just like flat. Yeah, I like that. That's quite cool. Let's leave it like that.
Yeah.
You've never looked better.
Fuck. Fuck, everything's broken now. Here we go. No, that's the other. What? What the fuck's going on? These bloody Indians. I'm telling you. I don't know. You
Yeah.
need to talk now so I can see if the delay is better.
Hello, hello. I don't know if the delay's any
Should we
better.
just try and go for it again?
Might as well. Not much else to do. Now you've frozen again. Oh no.
Where were we?
So, I'd just finished explaining that there's a new episode of Free As in Freedom, first one in like 9 months or something, on this subject, which I edited last night, which should be out sometime today. So I was just saying to people, oh, you should check that out because it's the first episode in ages and it'll give you a different perspective possibly, or just another perspective on the same thing. And then that was it. And then I said, and now Fab's gone. So you could just say, okay, that sounds really cool, and then we'll move on to the next topic or something. That'll do. Oh, this delay must be. Have your camera's frozen again? Oh no, it hasn't. There's something really weird going on there. You keep freezing as well. I don't know what's going on, but there's something fucking weird going on here. Now I can't hear you for some reason. I think we should, I don't know, go back to some other system that works. This fucking Hangouts is always breaking. No. No, I still can't hear anything. I tell you what I might do though, and they sound really bad on the mic, but there's a packet of crisps here that I really wanted to eat, but they're quite noisy. And now it doesn't really matter because we can't.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I hear you.
Hello? Hello?
I can hear you, but the delay is obviously so massive
You're talking?
Yeah, the delay is probably
No, I
so
think
massive.
it's good now.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's better.
Right. Okay.
Well, I don't know what we can do now.
We can try and carry on.
I say, well, it's the delays bad. I think
Yeah.
I don't know. Something went completely to shit at my end.
Yeah, there's something seriously wrong there.
Let
Your picture looks really dodgy still.
Yeah, the connection just went to crap.
Yeah, you're getting throttled.
No, it's not that. It's I think it's something on my machine.
Oh.
Like Chromium is using 50% CPU, and Google Talk plugins using 40.
Yep, and still you hate Firefox, eh? I don't know.
Well,
This goes to show that Chrome has problems too sometimes.
well, I don't think it's
Chromium,
Chrome.
should I
I don't
say.
think it's Chrome. It's something on my machine. I don't think it's a browser.
It's the Google Trojan.
I think the it's getting better.
Okay.
I think it's doable now.
Yeah.
Right.
Just as you said that, your picture's frozen again. I think it has to do with net neutrality. Johan V, yeah, you could be right there, mate. Delay sounds fine now. Well, now he's gone again, so I don't think we're going to be able to do this. Fuck's sake.
Just keeps breaking.
I was going to... Yeah, I'm just...
No, I'm back.
Now you're back, yeah.
This is ridiculous. Okay, I'm not going to touch anything. We'll just do the show.
Well, we're trying, anyway.
I don't think we'll have the soundboard.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't touch that. Because everything will break, I think. Let's just... I'll try to fix it for next show.
Okay.
Obviously need some more work on this end.
So, did you hear what I was saying before about where we were up to?
No, where were we, Dan?
Oh, right, okay. So, just as you went off, I carried on talking for a minute or two about the fact that there's a first new episode of Free as in Freedom in 9 months.
Is there?
Yeah.
Can you just do that again, because I want to react to that? Sorry.
All right. Okay. Yeah. It's well, what, the whole thing? I don't
know. What do you want me to say? I'm really surprised now. Okay.
Yeah, no, I went on talking for ages about how the next show, and then I said at the end, so if you want to hear another opinion on the situation, try that. It'll be out soon.
So did they talk about the Oracle versus Google thing?
Yeah, that's what the whole show's about, yeah.
I don't know. I didn't hear.
I know. Well, you're not letting me tell you either. So if you let me finish speaking, then maybe you would find out what I was saying. I was just going to say, why don't you carry on from there? So I finished by saying, if you want to hear it, blah, 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 there's a new episode out now, and then you can come in with a reaction to that. Unless you want me to say the thing again. Say that line again, and then you can come in.
No, I think that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm happy that they're back. I think...
Yeah,
I was wondering, actually, I was thinking about this morning. I was going to ask you when the next episode's out.
There hasn't been one for, I don't know, about 9 months. Yeah. It must be like September or something last year. I don't know. Until recently, I couldn't have told you. Until like 2 days ago when I got an email.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't know. Until 2 days ago when I got an email saying that they were doing another show. I didn't know. And that was all because of the Google Oracle ruling. So it was last night.
Basically, we need huge lawsuits to happen.
Something like that, yeah.
Episodes.
Maybe that's a good thing that's come out of all this. I edited it last night, but I didn't have time to listen to all of it. So I will listen to it as soon as I can. But the show should be out. Well, I believe it should be out today, or as we're recording this, it's the 13th of May. It should be out today, I believe. But have a look at faith.us or faith.us if you want to find out more. We should crack on with some more topics before we get censored again. Firefox, from Google to Firefox. We talked about advertising in Firefox. Apparently they're not calling it advertising, they're calling it something else.
Well, they said they want to do ads, and there was a big shitstorm, and now they're kind of saying, no, we won't do ads, but we're looking at sponsorship.
Okay.
Which I don't really understand how that works. It sounds to me like it's like this NPR bullcrap where they just call it underwriting, and it's basically ads. It's like brought to you by General Motors. They just can't say, as far as I understand the rules, you can't say any product names, but it's still ads. You get money for saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's to some degree it's still advertising, but I think sponsorship. I mean, I don't know. I mean, sponsorship is usually less kind of invasive, in my opinion. But I don't know. It sounds like a PR move.
Well, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be on a tab you open that is blank, where they can't give you stuff because you haven't had history there. So they're just going to give you stuff on there. So I don't see how that would be different. Like if they
that does sound a lot like the same plan. Yeah, that does sound a lot like the same plan. I don't know. I mean, I think we've talked about this before, but I think Mozilla's in a difficult position. I mean, financially, they're in a difficult position. I would imagine. I don't know. Not that I've seen their accounts, so I don't have anything to base that on. But I think they're in a difficult market, really, without a clear kind of a clear model for making profit and so on. I think they're going to need some kind of support. Maybe that's the future for them. What's up next? The Samsung NX300.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. This is a camera. Some guy contacted us, at work, and he had found horrible security holes in this camera. It's a mirrorless system. It's like one of those, kind of like a DSLR, but it doesn't have a mirror. It's like a more advanced point and shoot, but it's got actual lenses that you can take off and stuff. and it's actually it's on Tizen. It's probably the first consumer electronic device. We talked about this quickly at some point because they wanted to do phones, and then they came up with this camera. Now the cool thing about it is, well, the bad thing is it got security holes, as in there's like when you turn on Wi-Fi on the camera, there's an X server running.
An X server.
Yeah, it's Tizen, so it's Linux, it's BusyBox, it's Enlightenment, but the X server is a network display server, but usually you turn that off, like.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah, well, they didn't. So it's got other security holes. It's got like you can reprogram the NFC chip and stuff. And I wrote about this, and then he actually managed to get root on it. Basically, it's you can if you put a certain script on the SD card, it'll execute that automatically, and it'll execute it as root. So you can use the script to just install apps, and he used it to change. There's a telnet server running as well, but you can't log in, and he used it to do change. Basically, you get a console on the terminal server, and then you've got root, and you can do anything you want from that point, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's a security hole, but you can only really exploit it. Like the X server thing is, when you're in the same LAN as the camera and the same Wi-Fi, you can like send arbitrary images. So you could send like Goatsy, and of course the X server runs as root. So if you find a security hole in that, and it's a pretty old Tizen version they're using, so there will be holes in that X server. So you can crash that or get like buffer overflow, and then you root. But so yeah, it's not good, but it's also the security holes are kind of cool because they now allow you to get root on the camera and hack the hell out of it.
I was just thinking that, and maybe do some remote operational stuff on it. Like control it remotely or something over the Wi-Fi.
Well, yeah. I was talking to a colleague today who says he's been involved with the CCC. They're trying to have software that they run on cameras. When they're at protests, the police can just take your camera. So if there's police brutality and you film it, they'll just take your camera and delete the images. And they want to write software that runs on the camera and does mesh networking and just shares the images around. So they're on all the cameras.
Nice.
But they're having problem to find cameras which have Wi-Fi and which they can do mesh networking with. This sounds perfect.
I was going to say this could be the perfect thing, by the sound of it. Yeah. Looks like quite a nice camera as well, looking at the design of it and stuff. That's, maybe unintentional, but it could be good anyway. We had now somebody a couple of weeks ago asked us about Drupal releases, and I was updating, because I use Drush for managing all my Drupal sites, and I don't really think about updating that much. It just kind of, it happens.
You and your Drush love.
Yeah, so I last week when I was updating some stuff with Drush, and it told me there was a new Drupal release, I thought, I better write that down, I better put it in the notes. So version 7.28 is out now, and it's not very exciting though. It's mainly bug fixes, and I think there's a security fix in it as well. It just says, change log, blah blah blah, contains bug fixes and small API feature improvements only. Okay. So it's not a massive release, but there you go. So now we have told you.
Where?
Oh, hey! I got soundboard working again.
Where?
Okay.
Sorry. Where? In Drush. Okay.
In Drush. Drupal.org is the place to go, obviously, if you want to try out Drupal. WordPress. Yeah, WordPress. Yeah, that's had a new release as well, 3.9.1. Yeah, you released a bit of stuff about it. You wrote about this.
Yeah, that was just a maintenance fix, but I thought we'll mention it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it fixes 34 bugs. It says, maintenance fixes.
We talked about that, so it was an auto update for me. It installed automatically on my sites.
I got an email about it saying your site's been updated.
Yeah.
Which I like when I can go to the site and it hasn't died.
Yeah.
And then we got some news about ASP.NET. Apparently, the next version of ASP.NET will officially run on Linux via Mono, which is interesting because this is something that, over 12 years ago or something now, little bit more, maybe 13 years ago, something like that. When .NET first came out, it was about 12 years ago, I think. One of the promises, it wasn't a major promise, but one of the promises that they kind of made was that it would run on different systems. So much like Java, it would run on Linux or Windows or Mac or whatever. And of course, that never actually happened because Microsoft didn't want that. And and of course, Mono and Miguel did Mono and all the rest of it, and that kind of brought all that along. But they've kind of embraced Mono a bit lately as well.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, there've been rumors that I want to buy.
Xamarin.
Xamarin, yeah, exactly. They want to buy Xamarin, and now this is like mentioned it's kind of official. They're basically saying you can run on Linux. I mean, it's not new. But it's kind of it's not aimed on desktop Linux, like for virtualization and stuff. But
yeah, and it's it's ASP.NET, so it's web, it's web services, isn't it, or web sites and so on. So I'm imagining not many people do run websites on their desktop. Well, maybe they do. I don't know. Yeah, it's quite interesting. You can run via Mono. It says on Mac and Linux. Yeah. It's interesting. And it's on the MSDN blog. One of the MSDN blogs.
It's all like official.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. We got some Doge news.
Yeah,
Doge Vault.
Doge Vault's been hacked, which is a exchange for Dogecoins, which is kind of weird because Dogecoins are like worth.
I was gonna say, aren't they worth not very much?
Not much, no.
Yeah.
But to the moon. Wow.
Yeah,
much hack. Oh, I saw Netcraft. Netcraft, they do like these browser statistics. They're
reports,
like UK consultancy. They did a report on, what's it, SHA-2? And it was like Doge speak. So like, wow, such secure, much proliferation. It was like they did their headline of their report in Doge speak. I mean, how cool is that? It's been cropping up everywhere.
Yeah, it is. It's really invaded popular culture. We had an email which I'll talk about in a bit. Someone was saying, I don't know. Anyway, we'll get to it later. But people were saying, I don't know, reading it, it looks like the same thing. But someone was saying we're pronouncing Doge wrong.
Yeah, Doge. It's we played it on the show, but I'm pronouncing it Doge.
No, that wasn't what they said. They said
I didn't read the email.
Hold on. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Well, I don't know. To me, this looks the same. They've said, according to Reddit's Dogecoin's wiki, it should be pronounced, and they've written DOHJKOIN. Isn't that Doge?
HJ? How do you spell that? How do you say that?
No, well, DOH is dough, J is J, and then coin is coin. So it's still Dogecoin. So it looks like to me, or Doge for short.
I think we'll need to look this up.
Yep, I looked it up on the old Google machine, and there's quite a deal he's got going on here. It could turn into something really big.
Yeah, and that's a Dogecoin-related reference, obviously. What else we got? There's a new version of Sabian 14.05.
Yeah.
I haven't used Sabian in a long time. A lot of people
still like that was still around.
Yeah, that's still a thing.
The Cristiano Ronaldo of Linux distros, I think, as we called it.
Lots of people.
Somebody else. Wasn't that a list like what footballers Linux distro?
Yeah, this one came out. Actually, I mean, I haven't used Sabian in a long time, I admit, but it was quite fun when I used it. It was quite fun. If you're into shiny stuff, it was very cool. And I believe they've kind of made it more stable and less what's the word? Bloated, maybe.
Is it? I was gonna say, is it still the big ass distro?
I'm not sure. I believe they've kind of slimmed it down a bit, but I mean that's all conjecture. I haven't actually tried it, which I should do. What else we got? First release of LXQT.
Yes, we talked about this. LXDE and Razer QT. They were talking about this on the Saloon a while ago. They announced ages ago that they were gonna merge, and then never ever happened. And now they have the first release. It's LXQT070. This is the first release.
Why have they numbered it 070?
I've got no idea. This is ridiculous. Whole thing. Like, they're going on about the active development by 13 developers. Like, what? 13 developers? Like there are indicator applets on Ubuntu with more developers.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
That is strange, yeah. Although 13's better than better than some projects.
I think it's they followed the numbering of Razor Qt or something. I don't know.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. Maybe they just number 7's lucky in some places. What's this now? We got
Zap. We talked about that last week because they were bought by Red Hat. Version 0.80 is out. Release name Firefly. So
no, you must like that name.
I very much like that.
Wow, so approve.
Yeah.
So approve.
Keep flying with that distributed file system. Shiny,
yeah.
Just I don't know anything about this. I think it's basically the network block driver.
It could be. What's this? People are saying.
Yeah.
It says 070 is Sean Connery as 007 at the age he is now. Fair enough. Maybe it's another. I don't know. I don't fully understand that one, but that was from the IRC.
Okay. That was Firefly. Let's move on. We've got Unreal Tournament 4. They announced it's going to be free.
Ah, cool.
And they're kind of developing it with the community. Some background: they announced the Unreal Engine 4 a while ago as well, and that's going to run on Linux and it's going to support Oculus Rift. It's going to be cool. I think you can basically get the source code for for the engine for like €20 a month, plus 5% revenue. The Unreal Engine 4 is amazing. It's a good engine. It's like up there with the CryEngine and stuff, but they're losing. Like Unity is, and that's the engine, not the desktop form.
I was going to say, yeah, Unity is quite a popular engine, isn't
kicking
it?
everybody's butt. I mean, it's very popular with indies because it's basically free, and then if you make like $20,000 in revenue or so, you gotta start paying them. Which means you can develop for free, and if your game never takes off, well, then you just don't. It's okay.
It never costs you anything. Yeah,
and if it takes off, well, then you can start paying, which is the perfect model. It's graphically not as advanced, but it's like relatively easy to develop in. I hear, so it's just a cool thing, and even big studios. I mean, Hearthstone is done in Unity, I think. And actually, we had some people on the saloon there. Apparently, that runs really well on the Wine. Which is kind of that goes kind of with the Blizzard thing, because I used to play WoW for years on the Wine. I talked about that a lot on the show.
Yeah, they do seem to. A lot of their games seem to work really well. It's good that the engine's going to run on Linux, though. That's really good news. More gaming news. First release of a new game, and they're calling Tesseract, which I thought Marvel had some kind of copyright on, but possibly.
I don't think so.
So it's a new game based on Cube 2 Sauerbraten, and it looks quite interesting actually. It's out for Windows, Linux, and Mac. I'm assuming I was going to say I'm assuming it's a first-person shooter.
Yeah, it's a shooter thing.
Tesseract is a first-person shooter game focused on
Insta-jib. That sounds dirty, doesn't it?
Insta-jib deathmatch. Okay. Capture the flag. Okay, that makes sense. As well as cooperative in-game map editing.
Oh yeah, you can. That's the big thing. You can actually edit the map. It kind of, from the demo, it kind of looked a bit like Minecraft actually. So you can change the map around, which I don't really understand how you're doing that and then avoid being shot, because I think there'll be people just camping and just shooting you while you're like trying to rebuild the map or something.
Yeah, that does sound a bit kind of
No idea how that works.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Okay, I'm just reading. Sorry, I'm reading more about the Tesseract thing. Apparently, it's something. It was around, but well, Marvel kind of co-opted it. It says it's a geometry term.
It is.
It's also called an 8-cell or regular octahedron. I can't say that. Octahedron or cubic prism is a 4-dimensional analog of the cube. Sorry. Okay. Tesseract is to the cube as the cube is to the square. I'm confused by this.
Who told
Anyway,
you this?
yeah, exactly. I'm already confused by this. But anyway, there you go. So clearly Marvel don't own any.
Mark today.
So if I got some cocaine for me, I need some cocaine. Hey.
Yeah, that dude doesn't live in
Yeah.
England.
That's John C. Dvorak, man. There's a thing in Warhammer 40k. The Necrons have a weapon that's called the Tesseract Vault, which is also a big cube.
Okay.
Unsurprisingly.
Well, I was going to say if it's a geometry thing, then that would make sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so is that everything in the
second half of the show? Let's get right into that because people might not hear this later, but like my computer crashed in the middle of the show. I'm sure there will be some outtakes at the end, so let's just get into the next thing. I don't know. Let's engage the second half of the show.
Commencing interweb link.
First of all, I just noticed there are no emails in the notes.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm going to read the emails from the actual email. There's like 3 emails.
That's good. So you have them. Just post them in the show.
I have them. I will post them. Yeah.
I can do them in the show. Yeah, okay. Yes, I want to thank Jeff G, who's awesome. He's a great guy. He's supported the show. Thanks to everybody who supports the show, by the way, via PayPal. They're listed on the front page. Jeff G's been one of those. He's given me whiskey. And was them.
Jeff G, he sent me Sons of Anarchy hat. Yeah.
He's a great guy. So I asked some episodes a while ago now for that tight check. Well, we now watch GoldenEye again. It's Bond does Brosnan does this awesome tight check in the tank, like he right through a building and he just adjusts his tie. So we got that now. tightcheck.sixgun.org. Animated GIF. Thanks to Jeff G for digging that up. That is one of my favorite movie moments ever. And you can use it now in conversation online. Just go tightcheck.sixgun.org. And yeah, we had a lot of feedback on the packet equality thing.
There's a surprise.
People don't agree with me.
No, I didn't think they would somehow.
I don't want to go into all of this again. I mean, you don't have to agree with me. That's fine. I'm bewildered. I posted this on Twitter. I don't know what. Let's see what you think about this. But I feel people are treating Netflix still like a little startup, and they're like, oh, they're fighting the man, and they don't realize that Netflix is the man. I mean, they make literally billions of dollars. That's billion with a B in revenue. Okay, they don't make as much money as Comcast. Comcast has more profits, but that's basically because Netflix a bit in a like Amazon kind of their things like spending all their money on producing things and stuff. And I don't understand why people love Netflix that much. I just don't get it. I don't even think they're the best. Like I had a colleague who. Before they came to Europe, and you had them in UK earlier, did a test for CT, and who went to a lot of trouble signing up to Netflix to be able to test it from Germany with proxies and all kind of shit. And then he finally got it, and he's like, "This shit all like there's some good shows in here, but the rest is like I don't want to watch this." And I kind of feel the same. I don't know. I don't know why people are defending them that much, and they're like, oh, they need to pin the future of the internet on Netflix.
I would say well, as a person who does use Netflix and have a Netflix account, I had at the very first came out in the UK, I tried it, and there really wasn't any decent content on there at all when it first came out in certainly in the UK. I don't know about other places, but I tried it for like a month and then I cancelled it after the first 3 months because there was just really nothing on there. And I tried Love Film, which now is Amazon whatever streaming something or other. It was owned by Amazon, but then they changed the name to Amazon Streaming something or other video, and it was okay, but even that was a bit kind of up and down. And then I went back to Netflix about a year ago, or maybe must be more than that now. Anyway, a while ago. and I find the actual experience of using it really, really good, and the content really good as well.
I just think everybody.
As far as that goes, I've got no problem with that, with the service, given that I use it. I agree that they're not really a small startup. They are quite a big business, and they are responsible for a large amount of traffic, certainly in the US. I mean, people keep going on about, there's no hard figure on it exactly, but like a third of internet traffic and stuff in the States.
At peak times, I think.
Yeah, I can believe that.
I think everybody loves them because they advertise on fucking every tech podcast, or they used to. Like every show used to have Netflix advertising.
Yeah, we used to have adverts for Netflix on Floss Weekly, and we never have had adverts for anything on Floss Weekly, pretty much because nobody cares. But we did. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to get in trouble now. But we never really had a lot of ads, but we did have Netflix ads. I remember doing those. And I think the problem is, like, I don't see why people are singling out Netflix in this, because you've got things like Hulu in the States and Hulu Plus, which we aren't allowed access to because we're not in the US, which is crap. And there's other services as well.
I don't get people. Magic 8 Ball, and yes, he's doing the same thing. He's saying the problem is he's paying his ISP, right? And then Netflix, and he's paying Netflix, so why should Netflix pay the ISP? Why not? This happens all the time in business. It's all the time. If you're a company and you want to transport something with another company, like, you don't have ships and you want to transport your goods over ships, then you pay another company for the shipping, I mean, why not?
That's not a great example because, I mean, in that example, if I want to get something shipped from the US, I'm paying the company to ship it from the US, and then the people in the US are also paying the same company again to ship the same thing. That doesn't make a good argument in my.
Doesn't like when you do can't you do like what's UPS or FedEx where you do like overnight shipping and as a customer you pay extra? Like
I don't know, possibly.
And then you get it quicker, but I mean, if they then went to, let's say, Amazon and they said, well, okay, lots of people are paying us to ship your packages, and and you want to ship your packages quicker, so we want to buy extra trucks that just go to Amazon, right, to pick up the parcels from your end. And we want you to pay us more. And then Amazon says, yeah, okay, we'll. I mean, you get paid by your customers for delivering the packages, but we'll pay you to put in extra trucks or to build an extra ramp or like to have an extra highway. Why is that bad? Why? Why can't you pay for something twice? Why? Like, what's wrong with that? I don't get that. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't get what the problem is there. I think it's a much bigger problem if you make me pay for your Netflix use when I don't want to pay Netflix. Like if
you're not paying Netflix.
No, but that's what they want to do. What they're saying is basically. So let's do your example. We were both on Virgin Media in the UK, right? And you're a Netflix subscriber. Now Virgin Media says Netflix pushing so much traffic that we need to upgrade your infrastructure, right? Right now, they go to Netflix and say, you're pushing the traffic, give us some money. Then Netflix does that, and then they raise their prices. So you will have to pay more on your Netflix bill. What people are saying is, no, they shouldn't do that. Virgin Media should pay that, and they should raise their prices, which would mean me, as a Virgin Media customer who isn't a Netflix customer, has to pay for your fucking Netflix use. I don't want to do that.
I haven't heard that anyone making that argument, but
that's
maybe
what I said on the show last time.
I don't know. I mean, I as I said, I am a Netflix user. I'm not on Virgin either, so.
I don't get why. I mean, I get the argument when people are saying yes, it's a problem because they will be cutting people off, right? So if they say we won't deliver your traffic if you pay us, that's a problem. But that is an anti-competitive problem. If they say you're pushing video, you're pushing a hell of a lot of video, which nobody else does. It's just Netflix and Love Film and like 3 other companies, and they pushing like I don't know. They make up half of the traffic on the internet, and then they're saying, well, you're pushing so much traffic that
I'm not sure there is only 3 companies doing this kind of thing. I think the Netflix is popular. Netflix is popular. Hang on, let me say something. Netflix is popular, fine, and everyone's going about Netflix. But there's a lot more companies doing this. Things like Hulu in the States are massive, and I mean, we've got things like the iPlayer here, which we use a lot. All of the TV channels have their streaming services now. You've got other companies doing the same things. Film companies are now streaming directly. You've got all of this stuff going on. I don't think it's just Netflix at all. I don't understand why everyone's getting so hung up on the whole Netflix thing.
In Germany, it's 3 companies. Well, Netflix just entered the market, so it's 3 now. It's Netflix, it's WatchEver, and it's LoveFilm. And they're the only companies. And other people are doing video streaming, but not at a level where they need a special deal with the ISP. Those 3 companies, basically what they need is they not only do they deliver a lot of content, the problem is video, because they need to deliver it in real time because they're streaming. Mm-hmm. So basically what the FCC said, and what I can completely understand, is they said, you need to deliver a lot of content and it's time critical. So we do quality of service on the network anyway, but your packets are kind of important because there are a lot and they need to go. I mean, they can be cached and stuff, but what you want is, that's what they call a fast lane. You want guaranteed speed to your customers. And they're saying, well, you want that. The rest of the internet doesn't care. Like, if I load Twitter, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have, like, if it takes a millisecond longer or even a second, that happens all the time. Nobody else cares. But they have a special use case for the internet. And why is it wrong for them to pay for that? If a company says, we want you to pay for that, why is that wrong? I mean, Netflix could say no.
They could, but then
they could lay their own fiber if they want to.
And Well,
they don't want to do that because that costs a lot of money.
Well, Google's already doing that, so they're kind of screwed on that front.
I didn't want to discuss that again. Sorry.
Okay. Well, let's move on because we're going to be way over time anyway.
Go talk to Leo Laporte, write to your congressman, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I don't see your argument. I'm not on board with this.
So you've put in the emails, you've got something here about climate change.
Yeah,
is this going to be another big?
Yeah, no, we need to skip that. Basically, okay. I'm gonna put that in a later show.
Okay. I don't see that email for some reason.
No, because it went directly to me.
Well, that's why I don't see it.
Yeah. I'm gonna strike this. I'm gonna put that in the next show or something. We're gonna talk about that.
Okay. Well, we've had
enough rant this show, I think.
We've only got a couple of emails really to talk about.
That's okay.
So, what have we got now? Kelly Price sent us an email, and that was the one I was talking about with the Dogecoin thing in it. It says, I think I mentioned this last week. It says on the NASCAR side, most of the time they are turning left, and the car is set up for that, which is what I was saying. There are a few tracks that are more like Formula One tracks. I seem to remember saying this last time, in which they do turn the other way as well. Blah blah blah. There's one in California apparently. It says Sonoma County, California is one track that will make you wonder how much of the wine made there goes into the drivers before the race. That's quite good. It says either way, I'm glad for the Dogecoin driver Josh Wise for placing 20th in the Aaron's 499. I don't understand all this. Fox Sports didn't agree. Anyway, blah blah blah. Just keep up the good work. And where can I send my Dogecoins tips? I don't think we have.
I don't know.
We don't have Dogecoin, do we?
In the mail?
In the mail. Maybe. So thank you to Kelly Price for that one. Last time we were talking about Rich Brown tea or something. What were we talking about?
You wrote us. Damn, I want to read that email. I forgot this morning. Shit.
The only thing I've got is an image in the email. It says...
See, this is why I want to read the email.
Okay. It says he sent us a picture, which I'll put a link in the show notes, to something called Washington's Rich Brown seasoning and broth. It's like a gravy, basically. And it's called Rich Brown, which is cool. So there you go. What else have we got?
The IRC. Damn it.
What about it?
Well, people keep saying that this is the funniest thing about this argument as well. They keep saying, well, you don't understand. It's blah, 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 blah. I understand. I just don't agree with you. I had this. People can look this up. I'm going to put a link in the show notes to the discussions in the saloon. Mm-hmm. You know? People are like, oh, you don't understand, blah, blah, blah. I do understand. I don't agree with you.
Okay. What else we got? Oh, this was good. Felim Whiteley, or Whiteley, as you call it.
Felim Whiteley.
Yeah. I did the voice last time, so I'll try it again. He says.
I like that voice.
He says he liked our. Well, it looks as though he quite liked it. I got a lot of comments on Twitter and other places. People sending me messages saying, "Oh, I really liked your, the Irish voice." So it says. Suffice to say, I'm preparing my flotilla, by which I mean some hastily, improperly tied together pallets to set sail for a counter-attack immediately. I was pissing myself so much, I'm pretty sure someone called the men in white coats. He says, "Well played, lads. What? Well played, lads. 1-0. So thank you.
It's good that he enjoyed that too.
It is good. It is good. Just as well, yeah.
I enjoyed that a lot as well.
What else do we have? We had other emails this week from Dustin Williams, who sent us one about net neutrality, which I'm going to redirect towards another one. I'm going to get back into that again. Not on this show, anyway. Which I will direct towards the saloon. I think that's about it, actually. So if you want to, there's only like 3 emails. So I think everyone was too busy screaming in the saloon about stuff.
I'm now being accused of hate speech because of the net packet equality thing.
I suspect that's a joke.
I hate packets.
I hate packets, yeah. You're a packetist. Packetist? That weird. So if you want to send us an email, you can do. You need to send it to linuxoutlaws@sixgun.org. That's linuxoutlaws@sixgun.org. And you can get involved in the saloon as well if you want to sling, mud at Fab or any other brown substance. You can do.
Rich brown substance.
Any other brown squidgy substance.
If you want to know where to aim your gun.
Good. Now we know where to aim our guns.
Yeah. You can go to saloon.sixgun.org. That's saloon.sixgun.org. There's a Discord.
I'm going to rename that to hatespeech.sixgun.org.
Do a redirect. It'd be easier. Do like a redirect.
I'm also going to implement something that just throttles people's connections to the site, like for no apparent reason, and then
I think Google have already done that to you.
You haven't paid.
The way you've been going today, I think Google have already done it to you as well.
Yeah, they've already. I had to implement new. I'm now behind 7 proxies.
Are you on tour? I was going to say.
I'm behind 7 proxies. They can't do anything to me now.
Don't forget to check out the show notes. You can go to sixgun.org with the website, obviously, where you can find other things such as the other shows on there, like Angels of Death and so on. And you can leave feedback on there and stuff. Or you can head through to the saloon. As I said, that's the main place to go. I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else to mention on the housekeeping.
No, I think that's it. We're gonna end the show with a song called Can't Talk.
This was emailed to us as well.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah. This was emailed to us, yeah. Or it was emailed to me, wasn't it? Did I share it with you?
I probably missed it.
Oh, okay. It was emailed to me. I do mean like yesterday or the day before it was sent to me, by a listener of the show called Alex O'Brien, who listens to. Yeah.
I've been dropping the ball on the emails. He's also the listener I mentioned who did he put this on archive.org, but he also has some clips of the No Agenda show on there. It's kind of cool. And if I understand what he wrote in the saloon correctly, which I don't know, I haven't been getting enough sleep, so it could be wrong. He's a knight, knight of the No Agenda show, which means he's donated $1,000 or more to the No Agenda show, which is quite impressive.
Yeah, that's quite impressive.
I'm only 1/10 of a knight so far.
Okay.
And yes,
go on.
Yeah, and he put this on archive.org, a song called Accelerator.
Yeah, it's his first song that he's recorded and released, and it's very on the email he sent me. He said it. I mean, you can hear it's kind of home recorded and stuff, but I like it. I think it sounds really good. And he said it was it was his first attempt at recording the song, and he was also hoping that I played it on Rat Hole Radio. He sent it to me just before the last Rat Hole Radio. And he's also hoping that people will like remix it and maybe put drums on it and stuff.
Cool.
Which is partly why it's on archive.org.
I like home recorded stuff. It's like that.
Yeah, it's
still
why not? Yeah.
Springsteen, Nebraska kind of.
It's like the microbrew of music.
That's a
it's
good
like
analogy. I like that. The micro
it is actually
music.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and so we're gonna have a listen to this then to finish off with. Alex O'Brien. The song's called Accelerator.
Let's see if I can get through that without being cut off for hate speech
or copyright infringement.
See you next. Yeah, that happened to us again as well.
Yeah.
See you next week. Keep on hating and fuck those packets, especially those ICMP packets. Really hate those bastards.
I'm gonna miss you. Never thought I'd be leaving Big Blue. Here we are sitting on a bar stool, same as earth I've been pleading with you. Same as earth I've been singing to you. Someday soon, call these terrestrials aliens. I'm looking at you. Someday soon, call these terrestrials aliens. Where are these souls? Insisted on just a bag of bone. So don't miss your bliss, don't forget your cues. Wish I could burn all your scripts and your dollar bills too. Someday soon, call these terrestrial too. Aliens. I'm looking at you. Someday soon, call these terrestrial too. Aliens. Where are these souls?
Oh man,
Hey.
sorry for that. That was a clusterfuck of a show.
Alright.
And you'll have
I'm
to
just
edit that.
updating the notes.
You'll have to edit that as well.
Well, we'll see.
I'll send you that file. Listen to it carefully. There might be weird stuff going on. I have a lot of work to do. I'll rejig this thing completely for next week.
Okay.
Apparently that did not work at all.
It doesn't seem like it. We need the old cabling diagram shit again.
No, the thing is, I've changed some things in the setup.
Oh, true, yeah.
Which I need to take into account. Basically, I'm using 2 USB interfaces right now, and that didn't work at all. So I need to get around that somehow. I've got no idea how to do that right now, but I'll figure that out.
Okay.
I'll figure that out for next week.
I'm sure we'll manage it, yeah. Well, luckily Icecast is still running, so that's good. And the Hangout didn't actually drop out. I think it's, we kept it going, so that's good.
Yeah, I think as long as somebody stays in there, it kind of...
Yeah, I was in there, holding the fort. Cool. Just by default, basically. All right, and we should probably stop the streams then. Thanks to everyone for watching and listening.
Thanks for hanging in there, and thanks for hating.
Hopefully there'll be smoother service will be resumed next time.
I'll work on it. I'll give my best.